Hi guys and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. I'm Farhad. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. As you would know, we are on a journey to the first real milestone on this channel, which is 1000 subscribers, and we are about 94 short at the time of recording this video. So if you're new, please subscribe to the channel, help a small creator like me. And the film that we're going to be discussing today is the Malayalam film, which is titled Palthu Janwar, which is streaming on Hotstar. Now, the thing with films around animals is that it is a rarity, and I there aren't too many films that are made which are centered around animals, or they have few other animals as one of the themes in the film. And it was earlier in the year that I had watched the Kannada film 777 Charlie, and it was supremely emotional. It was a tear jerker, and I was left emotional long after the movie had ended as well. So I was really looking forward to. I like this genre, but there are not many films that are being made in this genre, and that's why. I was looking forward to this film particularly, which is the Malayalam film. Incidentally, Malayalam cinema is my love, and I think by now all of you know this. It is one of my favorites, and they come up with such interesting concepts. So, this film in particular, I was really looking forward to. So, is it worth your time? Let's find out. So, Paltu Janwar is basically a story of an aspiring animator who is forced to take a job of a compounder at a veterinarian shed in a remote village. Now, the story is very light and breezy, and it never gets too melodramatic. It is very frothy, and not too heavy, you can say, while watching it. It did give me a little reminisce about the Hindi series, which was Panchayat, which had a similar theme to it. But nevertheless, the story here is completely different. Definitely, the screenplay is different. There are shades of Panchayat that you may see in this film if you have watched the Hindi series. So the screenplay here, standing at a shade less than 2 hours, makes for a brisk watch. You are pretty sure that the screenplay is not going to drag here, but the screenplay is so beautifully written. I mean, it just had my heart. So very early on in the film, you are introduced to the protagonist who is very shy and almost has surrendered to his fate, and that is something that would be relatable to many people here. Many people who want to do something and aren't given that opportunity to haven't found that opportunity to do it, rather. So that part, I think, would be quite relatable. And to top it all, he's put into a surrounding which is not very welcoming. And how often have we seen ourselves in placed in certain places where we feel that we are, like, we can't fit into that particular section. And that is something, that dynamic is such that it is incredibly relatable, and it definitely did have my attention then. The humor here is very subtle, and it is firstly situational also. So it is going to, you will find yourself basically just smiling, but it will not be as if you are going to laugh hysterically. So this is not a hysterically funny comedy, it is a subtle comedy. They have moments which will put a smile on your face, but the drama is thoroughly engaging and engrossing, particularly in how the world building takes place. Here the how there is a complete misfit who is thrown into the deep end of the sea, and uh, has to deal with lot many things other than the passion that he does not have, basically, to carry on his daily job. And here, I think, even the elements of politics that are there, that I think was nicely tapped into at the grassroots level. Okay, this is not a very high level of politics, it is at the grassroots level. And I think that was something that was nicely tapped into. There's a nice little twist where he's finding it difficult to adjust, and that portion I felt was also very well written, and it felt very organic and rooted to reality, and that is something that really connected with me. Another aspect here, and this is an interesting aspect, is that after the, of course, there are many heartwarming moments in the film, But the moment you see that the character is settling into that role, there is this twist that comes up, and that twist I did not see it coming. Although it is not a very spectacular twist as such, nothing out of the blue, but in the relevance of the screenplay, I felt this was an interesting twist. Why do I say that? Because often I've seen that writers, once they've started a journey into improving the character dynamics of a particular character in the film, they do not try to mismatch it with some other obstacles that come their way until the final act. But here, uh, just to give you a perspective, here there was this particular incident that happens after the after a feeling that you get that the things are starting to settle down with the protagonist, and he's warming up to the people around. This particular incident that happens, it again twists the story in a different way. So the protagonist in a way is back to square one, and then again it leads to a spectacular final act, the extended final act. So before I get to the final act, I just want to wrap this up, this particular explanation that I had, that here, suppose if in a film there is some happiness, and that happiness is continued right up to the end, that is the easy way out, I feel, as far as the writing is concerned. But here the twist that is there, here it does add a new dimension, and uh, it does add a new dimension to the drama, basically, and which leads me to the extended final act. Now here, there was a clear demarcation and distinguishment that you had between the beliefs of the people and what things that you actually needed to be done, in that situation that was there. I will not spoil it for people who haven't watched the film, but there is this particular incident that happens, and that I felt was really nicely tapped into, although I felt that was a little underwritten, to be honest. It could have been explored a little more, that was a really interesting concept. And why do I say that? Because the resolution just happens very quickly and it is very abrupt. That is just a small turn or a small detour that the writers take in the screenplay, which had a lot of potential. I felt that could have been like a major subplot before the final act. But the final act is really heart melting. I mean, that was one of the sweetest endings that I have seen in a very long time. And it was heart warming. It was such a warm ending, that that feeling that you got when you saw that baby being born. I mean, that was such a beautiful feeling, even as a viewer. And so this was the screenplay, which was so beautifully written. And yes, despite its few of the flaws, I mean, I'm willing to let all of that pass, because I think the screenplay, they did a very good job in the writing of it. Coming to the technical aspects, I felt the dialogues are subtle but very effective in their communication. I really like the music as well. The music was very good. It went well with the surroundings, as did the BGM. The BGM also did score well with the drama that was unfolding. The cinematography is spectacular, and some of the most beautiful and breathtaking shots are taken here as a long shot. I really like those shots as well. So is the editing. The editing is very crisp. Director Sangeet Rajan, he did a very good job here. He not only did he add some elements of humor to the screenplay, but it was very engaging also in the way he unfolded the story, and there were so many heartwarming moments, and the way he executed them, I think I really love that, and that is something that I really love, expect in genres featuring animals. How much are you able to connect to those animals as a viewer also? So that I felt was really nicely done. Coming to the performances, I think Johnny Anthony was absolutely a delight to witness. He had a beautiful character arc also, and he did a pretty good job. Indrans is excellent here, and he did an excellent job again. His comic timing is on point, and he was able to find humor where, at certain unexpected places also. Dilish Pothan, I think he also did a very good job. I think his character was slightly underwritten. I felt that could have been tapped a little more. But again, that transformation at the end was abrupt, but he still did a very good job. Shruti Suresh, everyone had their moments to shine, but film belonged to Basil Joseph, who is the star of the show. Firstly, he has such a disarming smile, and that is something that I absolutely, it'll just sparkle your day, by a simple smiling. And he oozes of innocence, but your empathy always lies with the character simply because of his personality. I think his personality was perfectly suited for this character, and he did a splendid job. He's brilliant in the film. So I feel that this is such a sweet film. It is one gem of a film, Palthu Janwar, and it is streaming on Hotstar. I absolutely enjoyed watching it. Please do let me know your thoughts on the film Palthu Janwar. What did you make of it? If you're liking this video, please smash that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm to have for the video to have a larger reach. And if there are any recommendations, to throw some recommendations in. Yes, if you would like to read my full review of Paltu Janwar on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, then the link of which is in the description box below. Subscribe to the channel. We are on a journey of 1000 subscribers, and every subscriber is a part of our DG family, in a community that we are trying to grow together, and we are learning so well from each other. So thank you so much, but please subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon also. It'll be helpful to know when I come online. Also follow me on other social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. All links are in the description box below. So then until next time, I probably will come tomorrow and day after and the one after that. You're going to see me very often this week, I feel. So then until next time, thank you so much.